Epicenter family. I want to invite you this coming week to join us on our church-wide 3-day prayer and fasting from the February 27th to March 1st. There's three desires as three objectives that we are praying into about this prayer, for this prayer and fasting, why we want to do this time and what are we seeking after. And so first one is really corporately having a space, both physical space as well as in our spiritual space, to press in and ask God to increase our hunger for Him and also help us to find greater satisfaction in Him and Him alone. And the second desire we have out of this fast and prayer is that we'll be able to continue to catalyze and to strengthen prayer and intercession at Epicenter. And the third one is joining our Antioch movement across the board with our family to pray into what God wants to do in the nations. And so we'll have specific prayer to lift up our own international staff in those, in prayers in those 3 days. And why do we want to fast? You may ask, why can't we just pray? Why do we have to fast? And so I just want to share one verse with you from Matthew 9 when the people came to Jesus and said, hey, how come John the Baptist's disciples fast but you don't? And Jesus' response to them was like, how can the guests of the bridegroom mourn while he is with them? The time will come when the bridegroom will be taken from them, then they will fast. When the bridegroom will be taken from them, then they will fast. Jesus said, now that he's been taken away from the earth, he's in heaven, that part of our response and yearning for him is expressed through fasting. When we fast, we're saying, God, Jesus, we desire for your return. Jesus, we desire for your presence. Jesus, we need you. There's something that when we fast, it just helps us to express a desire for him. And this year specifically, we want to invite you to join us on a food fast. Why food fast? In the last few times we've done our church-wide fast, different people fast for different things, social media, schedule fast, and simplicity fast. There are many different ways, different things that we can fast from, but why food fast? Why this year we wanted you to consider doing a food fast? And it's because there's something about us denying ourselves of food when we feel the hunger inside of our stomach, when our stomach growls, that helps us to really connect with our spiritual hunger, yearning for Jesus. That when we are physically hungry, it causes us to also, for the desperation inside of us, to rise up and say, Jesus, we need you and we want you. And so it's all the other fasts are great as well, and we want you to participate if you can't do a food fast in other ways as well. But there's something about when we physically feel it just feels different, and it does something different to our spirit, in our mind, in our emotions, because we're more connected to it than if it's just social media. I can just take off social media for 3 days and nothing. I wouldn't miss it too much, maybe a little bit, but when we can physically feel, there's no way for us to hide from our hunger. When we can physically feel it, it just does something to our spirit. And when we're doing it together, all our hungers, rises up to the Lord. And as I said, one of the first objectives of our fast is that we corporately want to seek after God and ask Him to increase our hunger. So when we corporately come together and say, we're all hungry, and more than physical hunger, God, we just hunger for you. And so He's just really, and He just loves it when we as a corporate body come together to seek out after Him that way. And that's why we're also coming together for our corporate hope room on Tuesday, February 28, from 6:30 to 8 p.m. It is us coming together. We've been talking about prayer, different forms of prayer, but there's something that we want to create this physical space for us to come together to worship and to hear His voice and to seek after Him and ask for His kingdom to come, ask for His will be done, and ask for His presence to dwell with us and to transform us and to make us more like Him and to desire Him more and to make us make Him the first in our lives, that returning to that first love. There's something when we come together corporately that the crying out causes a shift in the atmosphere, causes a shift in all of our hearts, causes a shift in our community when we are asking God and running after God together. So just want to invite you to that. And we're gonna have some things prepared for kids so they can also be part of the whole evening, because kids are very much part of our church family, and we want them to feel like this is a space for them to come in to encounter God as well. But because we do have to do preparation, families, parents, if you are planning to come, we do ask that you will register so we know how many kids to expect, and you can go to epicentre.org/events to register for the evening. Even if you're not family, please register so we can kind of know how many people are coming, but still show up if you don't get a chance to register. But definitely want to see you. And the other thing, resources, is that we have resources at epicentre.org/prayer. If you want some resources, so what are the different food fasts I can do? There's about 4 different food fasts you can do that are on there that you can read about and how to prepare for them. But for any reason you're not able to do a food fast, but you still want to participate, there are other non-food fast options on there. And then also families, there's also resources in there if you as a family want to fast together and make this a really meaningful time for your family. So, all right, so I hope you can join us February 27th to March 1st for our prayer and fasting, and then on the 28th, come to the church office and join us at our Hope Room for a time of seeking the Lord together in a corporate space. Thank you.